Hi everyone, my name's Allison and I am your Vinted Value Mama. I'm here today to tell you about all the things I bought off Vinted in October. Now, this isn't only for Vinted. You could buy things off of eBay, off of Depop, whatever you like. I happen to use Vinted because it seems to be the most popular where I live. I think a lot of people, when they start shopping online, they read a lot of horror stories about buyers not selling things to them, about scams, about holes and stains and the quality of the items. So I really wanted to do this video to give you an idea of what an average month looks like in terms of clothing shopping for our family. Do I feel good about the quality? Do I feel good about the price? Was I scammed? Spoiler alert, I was not. My life is very boring. So, let's get started. I also wanted to mention that all of the prices I'm going to be using are the complete price that I paid. It's including the price of the item, the Vinted protection, and the shipping. I think we are pretty lucky here in Austria in terms of shipping. It's going to vary a bit depending on what country you live in and what country you're buying from on Vinted, but this is just to give you a ballpark of what I paid. First up, we have this item for my daughter. I originally saw it back in August, probably. It popped up on my recommendations feed, and I saw that it was from C&A, and I really like C&A. And I could see the inside label. It said real down, and I'm a sucker for quality ingredients like down. It's not an ingredient, it's a material. I'm not making a cake. So, I liked the jacket, but this was back in August, so I thought I need to do a bit of an inventory of my daughter's winter clothes, see what still fits from last year, see what she really needs, and I put it on my favorites and I kind of forgot about it. Now, when I did get around to doing an inventory, my daughter said she absolutely does not need a winter jacket. Her ski jacket from last year still fits perfectly fine. She really likes it. She does not want another jacket. So I was like, okay, I need to take this off my favorites then. But then the seller dropped the price. And it was already really inexpensive because most children's clothes on Vinted are extremely reasonably priced. So I kept it around. I thought, maybe she needs a second one. Who knows? She could get a rip in her other jacket. Doesn't hurt to leave it on the favorites list. And then the seller dropped the price again. And I was like, oh, she doesn't need a new winter jacket, but it's such a good price. So the base price was €3. What I paid for it, all included, was €3.80. And we have this lovely jacket. It is extremely lightweight. When I picked up the package, I was literally like, oh, that's not a heavy winter jacket at all. But she doesn't need a heavy winter jacket, so it's fine. She does really like it. She's been wearing it for a couple weeks now, gotten a lot of use out of it already. It was very inexpensive, so would I buy it again? She doesn't need it, but probably. I think the main takeaway was if I wanted a really warm winter jacket for skiing, for snowy days, I would need to look at the listing much more carefully, like I do with my own winter jackets, than I did with this one. It even said in the description. This isn't a winter jacket, this is like a windbreaker. But I just saw how nice and puffy it was, and I wanted it for her. So that's item number 1 for the month. Item number 2 was a set of 3 it was 2 leggings. She's wearing 1 pair of leggings today, and 1 pair of these sort of corduroy pants for children. Also, extremely inexpensive. Let me check. These ones cost €6.77 for all 3 together. I got a bundle from a seller. Yeah, not much to say about these. My daughter loves them. She's worn them already a million times. These leggings actually have a little hole in the back already, but I'm not going to blame Vinted or the seller for that. This is 100% because my daughter is very active, loves to play outside, and I think as soon as she put these leggings on, she started climbing apple trees. And ultimately, that's why I love buying clothes for her on Vinted, because if I got all 3 for $6.77, then I don't really care if one of them has a hole in them already. Next, we have another set with 2 t-shirts. Yeah, I bought these. You can see the pictures weren't great, but it's just 2 little girls' t-shirts. Long arm for winter, so I really didn't care. The drama with this came with the shipping, because I got the shipping notification like I usually do on Vinted, and then the seller sent me a message and said, "We have shipped one of the shirts for you, but I'll ship the other one tomorrow," which was really silly. For both of these, altogether, I paid €2.80. Just extremely inexpensive little cotton t-shirts for my daughter. So I can only imagine the seller had to pay more than that to ship the extra package to me. I don't know what the seller was thinking, quite frankly. But one arrived, and then I didn't know how the other one was going to be shipped. I didn't know if it would be as fast and it would really come the next day. It was over the weekend already. I didn't know if it was going to be delivered up to my house or if it would be down in the mailbox. I just didn't know about that second t-shirt. And I thought, ooh, this is it. I'm being scammed. Finally, they didn't send a t-shirt. But no, I eventually looked around the perimeter of my house, checked the mailbox, and there was the second t-shirt. So I've got no scams to report for you, sadly. That's everything I bought for my daughter this month. Now we're going to talk about the things I got for myself this month. And quite frankly, I'm shocked that the pile is so small. I usually get a lot of stuff for myself, but I was a good mom this month and mostly focused on her. So first up, we have this gorgeous handbag. I absolutely love it. I was looking for a leather bag for the winter, and I had a whole host of things that I wanted to see. I wanted it to be real leather. I wanted it to have a zip on the top. I didn't want it to be flapping over. I wanted to be able to reach in, and I wanted it to be the right size. I didn't want something super tiny, but I didn't want a giant mom bag either. Something that I can put my phone in, my wallet in, and that's basically it. Maybe a snack or something. And From the pictures of this item, I could see that it was real leather. I could just see that there was a zipper on top and that there was no flap on the top. And I didn't like that there were no dimensions of the bag. I was a bit worried about the size, but I could see on the picture with the door roughly how big it was, and I could not be more thrilled about this bag. I've used it a few times already. I'm still using my summer bag too. It's not that cold here yet. But I absolutely love it. It's the perfect size for my wallet, my phone, maybe a shopping list, and that's about it. Exactly what I wanted. Let me check the price of the bag. It was €7.84. So inexpensive for a really nice leather bag. You can see it's already pretty distressed, but I'm into it. That's the look that I'm going for. Next, we have some gloves for the winter. Now, I've been looking for a new pair of gloves for probably like a month or two now. I really wanted some new gloves. I wanted to make sure that they were cute going out gloves because I've got a whole range of gloves that I use for walking the dog in the winter, but I wanted something that was going to be a little bit fancier. I knew that I wanted gloves that have the little flap over the top, just trying to be practical if I have to do something on my phone or dig out bus fare, something like that. And I knew that I wanted them to be nice and warm because I'm always cold in the winter. And yeah, I love these ones. They popped up on my recommended feed and they were €3.80 altogether, and the person had just listed them maybe the day before. They already had a lot of likes, and I did something that I really never do, which is bought the gloves the same day, basically. Usually I think things over a lot more and I make sure these are really the gloves that I want, but I think because I had already looked at so many gloves and knew exactly what I was looking for, I was able to say, oh, these are perfect. Happy with those. And last but not least, for myself, a nice wool sweater for winter. I've bought a few wool sweaters on Vinted already. Some would probably say too many wool sweaters on Vinted already, but I'm a California girl who lives in Austria. I need a good wool sweater. I had been looking for a long time for something that had a really nice chunky cable knit like this. Can you see it on the camera? And they're all very expensive, basically. Normally, when I buy a wool sweater on Vinted, I will pay between €5 and €8, sometimes even less. I actually bought one just today that's going to be $3.80 altogether. We'll see how that looks when it arrives. Normally, when you are looking in that price range, there's going to be imperfections in the sweater. We're looking at sweaters that have shrunk a lot in the wash. We're looking at sweaters that have moth holes in them, and we're looking at sweaters that are stained. This one, you can see from the pictures, had a couple stains on it. And I told myself, it's fine. It's fine. It's for staying warm in the winter. Stains don't matter to me at all. Which was true. But then I got the sweater. The sweater cost €6.79. Very good value. It's a real 100% wool sweater. I love the cream. I love the cable knit. It's very big and oversized and cozy and amazing. So I get it the first day, and I think we were going to the grocery store, and I was like, oh, I could wear my new sweater to the grocery store. And immediately I was like, oh, I don't want to wear that. It's got a big stain on the front. So it really made me rethink, what kind of a stain am I okay with? And what kind of a stain am I not okay with? If a sweater has a stain, sort of just a little bit on the cuff, or a hole that I know I can stitch up really well, then it's still on my favorites list. But I got rid of a couple that had stains on the front because I know now that I'm not going to reach for a sweater with a stain on the front. Luckily, I went at the stain with a toothbrush and some stain remover liquid, and I was shocked at how well the stain came out. I cannot see any stain on this sweater at all anymore, and I got a really nice new winter sweater for €6.77 or something. Love it. So happy. Am I saying that go ahead and buy something stained? It'll probably come out. I am not saying that. I could not believe that the stain actually came out. I'm saying, think about if you will still wear the sweater even if it has a stain on it. If it's just around the house, if it's for going out, really think about it. But I got very lucky in this instance. Now, last but not least, we have clothes for my husband. And the poor guy, he doesn't get nearly as much clothing as the ladies in the house, I can tell you that. But he came to me and he told me his normal sort of everyday shoes were falling apart, and he really needs something, especially now that the weather's getting a bit colder, a bit rainier. He had like holes in the bottom of his soles, so he really needed some new shoes. Now, my husband has plenty of sort of snow boots, real winter boots. That's not what he needed. He never wears his snow boots and his winter boots. He needed something for everyday use, something that he can put on and off really easily, much like myself. He hates tying up the snow boots every time. So I was looking at sort of a Chelsea boot maybe. I wanted real leather so that it would be a bit more durable. And of course I wanted it very inexpensive because I'm always trying to save money. And that just was not happening for me. A lot of the Chelsea boots have sort of a dress shoe sole, and I really wanted something with a bit of a thicker sole for puddles in parking lots and that kind of thing. I found one pair that I really liked. It was just a bit more expensive than I would normally pay. The shoes had been up for, 7 months or so, and I was the only one who had liked them. So I thought I would go ahead and make the seller an offer, as you can do on Vinted. So I sent them an offer, and I don't think the seller ever even responded to me. I think they just completely ignored me, which is fair because they look like really nice shoes, and I was offering them a very low price. So a couple days go by, my poor husband still has no real shoes to wear, and I say, it's only a few euros more, I'll just buy them for the asking price, get my husband some new shoes. So I buy them, and the seller cancels the order. It's possible there was something going on in the seller's life. It's possible that they just thought I was a bit too cheeky sending them such a low offer. So those shoes were not happening anymore. I found another pair of shoes because there's plenty of other fish in the sea, especially on Vinted. So I find another pair of shoes. You can see on the tags, they're genuine leather. Really like it. They're not quite the Chelsea boots. They're more like loafers. But I thought, it'll be fine. And they had, a part of the listing said something like, reasonable offers accepted, something like that. So I sent them an offer for like 30% off. It was accepted 20 seconds later. I paid for it 20 seconds later. Excellent. And then 5 days go by and the seller never sends them to me. And they wrote me a message to apologize, but by that point I'm thinking, it's fine. My husband doesn't need loafers. He needs boots. Winter is coming. Then, finally, I find these boots. They are not real leather. Sadly, that's the only downside to them. They've got a great sole. They're still in great condition. They've got these 2 zips, one on each side, so I guess it's for if you're left-handed or right-handed. I think that's pretty cool. My husband likes that he doesn't have to lace them up. He can just do the zipper really quickly. And they cost shoes €7.44 altogether. So extremely inexpensive for a nice pair of boots that my husband can wear to work all winter long. That was really the big drama for this month, was trying to get some shoes for my husband. But overall, I'm very happy with all the purchases I made for our family this month, and I'm definitely going to continue shopping on Vinted in the future. Thank you so much for watching my video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see what I'm buying in the month of November. Gotta start thinking about Christmas presents.